This is all that remains of Lion Air Flight 610. In October, the Boeing 737 MAX 8 crashed into the Java Sea just 12 minutes after taking off from Jakarta. All 189 people on board were killed. Flight data showed that it made a sudden, sharp dive.
At the end of the recording, it seemed the pilot felt he could no longer recover the flight. That's when the panic emerged.
Then this month, 157 people died when Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 crashed not long after leaving Addis Ababa. That too was a Boeing 737 MAX 8.
There are indications that there are clear similarities, especially with the number of minutes they spent after takeoff.
In the days that followed, more than 50 countries took steps to ground 737 MAX planes before the US president did the same with Boeing's entire 737 MAX 8 fleet.
Boeing is an incredible company. They are working very, very hard right now. And hopefully they'll very quickly come up with the answer. But until they do, the planes are grounded.
The 737 MAX 8 was launched globally in 2017 and quickly became the fastest-selling model in Boeing's history. The company website explains the model uses Boeing's latest display technology so that pilots get more information with less effort.
It looks like the old kind of airplane. It looks like a 737, but as aircraft are developing and evolving, aircraft are becoming more and more digital. As we automate aircraft, the pilots become less and less familiar with hand flying.
But it's precisely that technology that's being investigated as a possible cause of both disasters. In the case of the Lion Air crash, investigators suspect a sensor malfunctioned in what's called the plane's manoeuvring characteristics augmentation system. They think that may have triggered anti-stalling software, which automatically brought the plane's nose down. Experts say an MCAS safety feature that Boeing had been selling as an optional extra could have prevented that from happening. Neither the Lion Air nor Ethiopian Airlines planes had that feature installed. Last week, Boeing's CEO announced a software update, and while exact details haven't been released, insiders say it will add that optional safety feature as standard.
Our entire team stands behind the quality and the safety of the aircraft we design, produce, and support.
As investigators search for answers, it's been revealed that just one day before the Lion Air crash, the same plane began to dive after takeoff. An off-duty pilot in the cockpit was able to identify and correct the malfunction by cutting power to the motor that was driving the nose down. That has many experts asking why the crew on board the same plane the next day didn't have that information. And if the same malfunction is responsible for the Ethiopian Airlines crash, why did that crew not know either? The role played by the United States Federal Aviation Administration is also in the spotlight. This week, the US Department of Transportation said it was forming a special committee of outside experts to independently review the FFA's certification of the 737 MAX 8.
The most likely logical thing is that the FAA was merely under-resourced, which has been a continuing mantra, less resources for regulatory and oversight agencies, which sometimes is a good idea, but very often it isn't.
Denee Savoia, The Newsmakers.